Hello, everyone. Jason Hagholm here, and I am joined by Aaron Jeffery, who you all know is one of the top Canadian prospects. And on March the 12th, he will be fighting for the CFFC Middleweight Championship against Colin Huckbody. Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. So, first of all, Aaron, I guess you got a free workout today with all the snow. I'm sure St. Catherine's got a bunch of snow like we did here in Kitchener.
Dude, we got dumped. We got like 2 feet out there. It's wild.
I know it's the most snow we've got all year. It's kind of
For
crazy.
sure.
There's the winter's saving it for the end, right?
Yep. Always.
Yeah, but fighting Colin Huckbody for the middleweight championship. First of all, that's got to be super exciting for you. But how'd this fight all come about, Aaron? Because we just saw you back in October, November in LFA.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know all the in and outs totally. My manager does most of the speaking with the promoters, obviously. But Huckbody, when he was fighting for the title originally a couple months back, his initial opponent fell through. And we put my name in the hat for that one, and he took a different fight. But I think Dodge, he kept asking for that fight, and we got it.
Well, it's a big opportunity, and you two kind of both have some similarities. You're both 9-2. You're both veterans of the Contender Series, and both on the verge of being in the UFC. That's kind of a cool parallel, right?
For sure, yeah, it's good. I think it means there should be some eyes on this fight.
And Colin's last fight was against a fellow Dodge represented fighter, Aaron Phillips. Have you talked to your management to get in contact with Aaron Phillips about that last fight that he had against Colin?
No, I haven't actually. Yeah, it's weird, like being managed by the same guy, and you kind of feel like your teammates, but then at the same time, he's another middleweight in my division, kind of fighting on the same scene as me. So we're teammates, but we're also kind of enemies, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I can totally get that, but it's just interesting if that he'd want to maybe give you some info heading into
For sure.
for having fought Colin. What do you know about Colin? A guy that's coming off a Contender Series win, but turning down a contract and already a title defense of this middleweight championship for CFFC.
Yeah, like you said, we have some similarities. We have the same record. We're both 9-2, both Contender Series fighters. Yeah, he just won the CFFC title a couple months back. He's a tough guy for sure. It's a good record. He's got a bunch of wins by submission. I think he's got a wrestling background, strong grappling base for sure. So I think it's going to be a tough fight.
Would you say this is one of the tougher fights you have had? Because your last year, 2020, was definitely the big bump up in competition for you, and so far you passed it with flying colors.
Yeah, I think so. He's up there. My last couple guys were both pretty tough too. And then I got like Sean Brady and Brendan Allen on the record. But at this point in your career, you can't really expect any easy fights. So yeah.
Do you kind of feel like your career's kind of coming full circle in some way? Like your first loss was in CFFC against Sean Brady, and now you're looking to kind of exercise those demons, winning the championship gold for CFFC?
Yeah, a little bit. It's definitely a cool, like full turn of events, like you said. Yeah, I'm excited for it to be back in the CFFC cage.
Yeah, I think we all are. And CFFC is definitely one of the top regional promotions right there in the US, and getting that exposure as well, once again, on Fight Pass can only mean good things for you, right, Aaron?
For sure. Absolutely.
As well with this card too, right? Like you're fighting with your teammate, Jasmine Jasudavicius. That's got to be a cool experience for you that, Jazz is going to be on the same card. And, once again, you guys are helping, put the name out there of Niagara top team.
For sure. Yeah, and we live together, like me and her and my coach Chris Prickett. So we're all kind of going down there as a family to get in a couple scraps. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really. And let's give credit to CFFC. They've done a lot for Canadian fighters, as it's been tough for the Canadians getting some opportunities, and CFFC's been willing to go out there and put Canadians on the map.
Absolutely. There was who was the guy that had that?
Johan Lioness is fighting on your card.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
great. Yeah, it's very good exposure for the Canadians.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the one thing, right? It's been tough, and hopefully with,
Yeah.
vaccines getting out, that the scene is kind of getting back up out in the West Coast, but out here in Ontario,
Yeah.
we're still
Yeah.
waiting for things to go. I mean, how's your training camp been going, Aaron? I mean, obviously it's been tough with the restrictions, and I've heard you had some bylaw officers come by.
Yeah, there's been bylaw officers at the gym. We've had like people phoning in complaints and stuff. Like they're calling Prickett all the time and bugging him about stuff. But I mean, that kind of stuff puts bumps in the road. But otherwise, I've been healthy. I've been putting in lots of work, like training twice a day, every day. If I have to go somewhere else or find different partners or whatever, I'm doing it. So I'm getting the work in. Just some minor inconveniences.
Yeah, is that what really more what it is? Minor inconvenience, just annoying instead of like what you're
Yeah.
trying to focus on and put those distractions behind you.
For sure. And then even small things like whatever kind of stores you want are closed at certain times or just closed in general because of the lockdowns and whatever. So it's an interesting spin on the training camp. But like I said, I'm getting the work in still, so I'm happy.
Yeah, who you been? Obviously, you've been working with Jazz and the guys
Mhm.
at Niagara. Top. Have you been working with anyone else?
I see Elias Theodoro quite often, still once or twice a week in with him. Tom Theocharis, a bunch of the Brock wrestlers. They've been able to start back up now too. They have like some kind of loophole because of like Olympic athletes or whatever. But there's a bunch of big guys in the Brock wrestling room now. Some really high level guys like Clayton Pye is an Olympic candidate. So he's one guy that I'm getting in lots of work with. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong working with the best wrestling program in all of Canada, right? So, I mean, that's a
Absolutely.
positive thing. What is one thing you want to have happen successfully? Obviously, getting the win, but I know after your last fight in LFA, you were talking about, your starts being slow. Are you going to try to
Mhm.
find a way to make sure you somehow get a way to get a much better start?
For sure. Yeah. I feel like my last couple of fights I didn't really totally showcase my skill set. So yeah, I want the win first and foremost, but I want to be able to like show what I can do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we know what you can do. You can grind the opponent out, but you definitely have the power, as we looked in the Bruno Assis fight and all your BTC fights, right? So,
Hmm.
I mean, that's kind of what you want. And as we were talking just before off air. This is the most media I think I've seen you do
Hmm.
since you fought in the Contender Series. Has that
Hmm.
kind of been fun? I mean, that's got to be exciting to see your name really getting out there and being one of the next guys for representing Canada potentially in the UFC.
Yeah, it's always fun to like look back and watch the interviews and people are like happy to see me and my mom's so proud and my buddies love to see it and whatever. So it's always cool after the fact, but man, it's I mean, this is like a small amount compared to like what a McGregor or something would do, right? But it's it's tiring, man. Like I got to rush home from the gym and I have this for like in between sessions. I can't take my afternoon naps. So yeah, I could see how some guys like don't want to do the media and it can wear on you a little bit.
Yeah, I can only imagine upsetting you of not getting an afternoon nap. I mean, I know how important a nap is to me, but someone like you who's a athlete at the highest level, I mean, you got to get that nap in there. It's got to be
For
tough trying to
sure, man.
squeeze it in there.
I know it's tough. You're one of the guys I would miss my nap for though.
Oh
The
well,
short list, you're on it.
thanks a lot, Aaron. That does mean a lot. I mean, when this is all over, we'll do an interview with some cereal or something.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, and that's been obviously you're a nutritionist background, so you're
Yeah.
staying off that stuff. But is there anything that you're looking forward to, meant after March the 12th, dipping in with some cereal?
In terms of cereal,
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, anything right now because I haven't really had much at all. I'm down for any bowl of cereal right now. But my mom's food, man, I go see my mom every weekend and I haven't barely eaten any of her food, and I know that kills her to see me not eating her food. All she wants to do is fatten me up, and it's killing me to see it and smell it and watch everyone else eat it. So I'm looking forward to some of that.
Oh, I mean, that's you're breaking her heart. I mean, you know what?
I know, man.
You're
I
a
know.
couple weeks away from it, though. You got to keep
I
telling her, I
know.
guess, right? Like
I
a
know.
couple weeks,
I
and
know.
I could be bringing home some hardware that can show off all
Exactly.
the hard work of
Yeah.
putting off your delicious meals, Mama Jeffrey.
And I think she's cooking more and she's cooking different things. It's like she's trying to entice me more. She really wants to eat it. So every time I go home, there's like a new recipe and she cooks for like 20 people, even though there's only like three of us. So yeah, it's been a long couple weeks.
Mom, I can't have that. It's tough. I want it, but I can't. But I don't know,
Exactly.
Aaron. I mean, obviously, I'm happy for your success. Like, we were talking. I had to wait a couple of weeks, an extra week to interview, but it's exciting, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the fun part of it. You may have to miss your nap here and there, but
Yep.
getting the press, and especially that interview Aaron Bronstetter did, that's a
Yeah.
big step for you to take your
Yeah.
next goal.
For sure. Yeah. Like I said, it can be like tiring while you're doing it, but then afterwards, like looking back, seeing the interview, seeing my name on TSN, that kind of stuff, it is pretty cool.
I mean, I know a lot of people have been asking you about it, but obviously UFC is the next step. But are you getting a little tired of like getting these finishes and being told one more, and then hopefully this does lead to one more? But it's that's got to be the real frustrating part, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I feel like I should be there already, but I mean, I'm doing the sport because I love it. So UFC or not, I like getting in fights and winning fights. So I'll keep doing it while I can.
I know this upcoming season of The Ultimate Fighter has middleweights on it. Did UFC or anyone reach out to your management about potentially being a part of the cast for this upcoming season of Tough?
Yeah, we were in talks. They said there was going to be an interview process, but then it kind of sounded like they had already picked the guys that they wanted. So I don't really know where exactly I was in all of that, but yeah, we were in talks. But I think everything because of COVID is postponed once again.
Yeah, and I mean, as well, I guess lastly, the big thing now, obviously, Josh Hill on our show, we talked about this quite at length, is the new travel restrictions for Canadians coming back. Obviously, need a clean test from COVID before you come back to Canada. Does that kind of weigh on your mind a little bit more than what you did, back at the end of last year, where it was pretty much, it was strict, but not as strict as it is now?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of thinking maybe after the fight, I just like hang out down there and do like a mini vacation somewhere or something and see if things blow over a bit. It seems like there's quite a bit of pushback on these restrictions, so maybe that stuff will get loosened up pretty soon. But I've also been saying like if I'm coming back with a big win and like a gold belt around my waist, I'm probably not going to care too much about like a quarantine hotel or whatever. I'll be on cloud nine, so I'm sure it'll all be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's also the right way to look at it, right? Is potentially hanging out in Philly. There's lots to see in Philly, at least.
Sure.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
you're fighting in the
steaks.
proper. Yeah, exactly. Fighting in the States and of the places you've been, this is kind of one of the more exciting ones. I mean, Miami was cool, but Philly's got such great history too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I was there once before for my other CFFC fight, but I had lost, so we explored a little bit, but it's not quite as fun exploring the city when you got like black guys and a brand new loss on your record. So hopefully with a win and a gold belt, it'll be a bit more fun.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, best of luck. That is the main event for the CFFC on their night 2 on March the 12th. Before I let you go, once again, plug yourself out there on social media, because you right now are just rising up the ranks of getting eyeballs on you, of being one of the next big Canadian mixed martial artists.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, everywhere at AAJ MMA, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Want to plug your business as well? I mean, your nutrition company's got to be pumping off right now too.
Yeah, it's Jeffery Nutrition. So it's linked on my main page, and then if you want to look up Jeffery Nutrition, you can find that page as well.
All right, Aaron. Well, best of luck on March the 12th against Colin Huckbody, and looking forward to talking to you soon, Aaron.
Thank you, sir.
All right.